So much more official than me, Pie Monsters. I'm always just just riffing in the morning. But no, we're full in hockey season, snow, really shitty weather already. We held off. It only snowed for the first time last week. So we've had it really, really lucky for a long time. But Vancouver's one of my favorite places to be. I have a bunch of girlfriends and friends that all live there. Played soccer in university and would travel and play against BC quite a bit. So
I
love
see.
getting over there.
Yeah, yeah, it's very nice, yeah.
Okay, perfect. We'll give everyone a minute to get in to. I think we had a lot of interested people, and just be again, given our kind of global audience, people will filter in and out. So I
Yeah.
know there's a lot of interest for this, but so people will, I'm sure, trickle in as we go. And then just to highlight to everybody, we will use the event chat. If you do have any kind of direct questions, anything that you want to make sure gets addressed, please dump it in there. All right, well let's get started. Myself, Extra Guac, one of the founders, co-founders of Our Planet, also Ashley Vickers, Final Sites, who you know as a mod. I'll do less and less talking this week, which is fabulous for me, probably fabulous for all of you. But as part of Learn Good Shit Week, this is event 2. We wanted to highlight Tiny Astros. We've got Pie Monsters here from Vancouver, which I just learned, so another fellow Canadian like me. And here to talk about Tiny Astros tools and analytical tools that I think all of us can start to benefit from. How do I actually use tools, resources, things to actually educate myself when you're moving at the pace I think that we do in the NFT space. Sometimes it's you're making a rapid choice, rapid decision to buy. This is your hard-earned money. These are your gains. This is something. And so, how do you equip yourself, I think, to be as prepared as possible to make some of these judgment calls? And so, Tiny Astros is a growing platform that I've had some time to spend with their team and learn more about. I will not do the disservice of trying to describe it by monsters. I will let you do that. But yeah, we're going to do a demo today. Please feel free in the event chat to ask any questions to Pine Monsters that you want. Anything on the evolution of where analysis and things might be going. With that, Pine Monsters would love you to give a background on yourself, your partner, Mint Collectibles, who I know couldn't join today, and then your platform, and take it away.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having us. A little bit about myself. I got into Web3, I think, just at the start of the year, like many of you. And really, when we first came in, we wanted to build something that would allow us to kind of use our experience and knowledge coming from Web2, being in the education industry for over a decade. And we sort of settled on finding ways to help people become better traders and be able to make better decisions. So, really, our vision at Tiny Asho, it's to be the number one trusted discovery platform that's focused all around learning, investing, and also empowering others to become a part of the next revolution of companies in Web3. So really for us, we think of ourselves as kind of being the Bloomberg of Web3, starting with our tools, which is Astro Analytics. And it's just like how Bloomberg started with the Bloomberg terminal as well. So we're planning to do all of this by building an ecosystem that can help you as an individual navigate and also grow in the Web3 space, starting with our set of tools that's accessible, affordable, and also user friendly to really help you make better decisions when you're buying and selling NFTs. So we're now at kind of the phase two of our entire roadmap. So in phase two, we've recently launched our Astro Marketplace, where you as a holder, you can nest your Tiny Astro NFTs, and you actually generate tokens daily based on the rarity of your NFT. And with your Tiny Astro, you can actually rent or gift out additional passes to your friends, acquaintances, and this is already live for all of our holders. And then also in the future, with the tokens that you continue to generate daily, you can use them to unlock additional features, add-ons, access giveaways. There's a whole lot of different things coming for our holders. So that's a little bit about where we're at right now. And maybe I'll just leave a couple seconds if anyone has any questions about, kind of how we got started. If not, then I can just dive right into the demo and the walkthrough. Okay, maybe I'll just go right into it then. All right, give me one quick second, and I will start sharing my screen. Uh, can you let me know if you can see my screen?
I can't. Sorry. Oh, maybe I can make it blown up. Oh, I'm just an amateur hour. So if I click on the square, now it expands. All right. Showing
Is it
my
good
age.
now?
Yeah, I'm good. Final states, you're good.
Okay. Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure that I'm proceeding with uh, something other than a blank screen. So I just want to do a quick rundown. If any of you have never come across Astro Analytics, or you don't really use tools, this is sort of a good starting point. So this is the trending page. This is where you can see all of the different collections that have been trending for, let's say, the last minute all the way down to the last 24 hours. So this gives you a sense of what people are currently buying. You can see that there's the number of sales, the floor, mint price, average price, volume, and also a small 7-day volume graph as well. So everything here is updated in real time, which means that if anything increases in sales, it's refreshed automatically. So this is the trending page. There's also the discover page. And really, this shows you all of the collections that have recently minted. You can see the number of mints, the mint price, which is an average of all the different mint prices, because we know that for certain collections, they might have different stages of minting, all with different prices. The average gas cost that people spent, how many mints for all time, and also the average number of NFTs held per holder. So again, you can toggle between different intervals. There's also the watch page as well. So for any collection that you are interested in, you can actually just go ahead and follow them. And then for these, you can set different price notifications, so that you can be away from your laptop, from your computer, and you would still get notified whenever a collection falls within the range, the target range that you're trying to enter or exit at. So these are the few collections that I'm currently watching. Now, switching into one of the collections, um, pretty much we have 4 tabs, all with different functions. So up across the top, we have basic information about this project, all the different relevant links, as well as the supply, whether or not it's revealed yet, the amount of royalties for the different marketplaces, the mint price, the floor price, 24-hour sales, and a few other different pieces of information. And right now we're on the charts tab. And basically, here you can see all the different transactions that went through recently. So the blue dots are single transactions. If we click into one of them, you can actually see the actual NFT from that marketplace. And then for the green dots, these are sweeps, so multiple transactions, and this is showing you just the average price. So that's the sales graph. And moving below, we also have the volume as well, just under it. And then there's also the sell floor and the average sale price as well. Again, all with different intervals. Sometimes it's nice to be able to zoom out and hopefully be able to see a trend. And then moving down the page, there's the volume and number of sales as well. And across the bottom here, we have our sticky gas. So you can always keep track of how much gas is at any point in time. Switching over to the activity page, this is where I would say people spend about 85, 90% of their time whenever they're on Astro Analytics. So right now, you can see that I have my listings on the left-hand side and then my sales on the right-hand side with all the graphs, uh, the graphs we just went through in the middle, just slightly smaller. And then moving down the page, we also have our sell wall, which is really important whenever you're looking at whether or not to get into a particular collection. There's also the momentum graph as well. The momentum graph is a really good way to gauge if a collection is trending in a positive or negative way. And really, with this, you see the ratio between new listings and sales. So that's the momentum graph. And then there's also the listing history as well. So this is the number of total listings across different marketplaces. So if you see that the listings are decreasing over time, then you know there is a reason, hopefully, that people are removing their listings. Um, and this is showing you just the, again, listing history over time. On the right hand side, you have the sales. So these are the actual transactions that have gone through across all different marketplaces. And then also on this page, you can see for this collection, it's revealed. So you're able to see which rank and also what the rarity range is for these particular NFTs. So that's the activity page. And one thing that we're really proud of is the option for our holders and users to switch between different views. Right now, we're at the split view, which has your graphs in the middle and then your feeds on either side. We can switch to stacked view, which will give you the graphs across the top and the feeds at the bottom. And then we can also switch to grid view, again, with the feeds on the left-hand side and then the graphs on the right-hand side. So those are the different customizable views we have right now. So there's going to be a lot more coming in the future as well. And just moving on to the rarity tab, we have all the NFTs from the collection after it's been revealed. You can see the different rarity rankings here. So this shows you all the different ones that are currently available for sale. If you toggle it off, you'll be able to see all the NFTs from the collection. So you can see these are the top 1% ones. And then you can also sort by different traits as well. So for example, if I click on that one, it will show me all the NFTs with 4 trait counts. Across the top, you can filter by the price, the rank, and also the token number as well. And then you can also look up your own NFT here if you search by the token number. And there's also a few quick toggles up here, which allows you to quickly access NFTs within different ranges. So that's the rarity tab. And then just moving on to the holders tab, this gives you a quick overview of what the holder distribution for this collection is like. So we know that there's 10,000 supply, there's 3,055 unique holders, and then we also have the average number of NFTs held per holder. And up here, you can see that there are different uh, notable holders and also with how many NFTs each of them own. So, last but not least, I also wanted to quickly touch on our custom gas feature. So, this is something that has been helping a lot of our holders and users win whenever they're trying to snipe something. So, we have a few different settings. We have fast, which allows you to offer 2x the gas multiplier. We have aggressive, which is 3x. And then we also have suggested as well. So for suggested, this is the one to use whenever you are trying to buy a NFT that has a few other people going after it as well. So whenever you see something in the feed that has pending transactions right now, let me see if I can find one. Um, let's see if there's any pending transactions. Doesn't look like it, but if there's anything with a few pending transactions, suggested is the way to go, because what it does is it allows you to take a snapshot of everyone and what gas they're offering, and it will allow you to offer just a bit more than the highest gas being offered. So this has been really handy in terms of helping people snipe rare NFTs during reveals. Um, and this is one of the things that people really like about Astro Analytics. So maybe I'll take a quick pause there. I know I went through a lot of stuff, and just see if anyone has any questions.
And feel free to raise hands, anyone here, if you're inaudible or just uncomfortable, dump the question in event chat, or happy to also bring you up.
I'm just going through the event chat right now.
Or whenever it's technical too, I think people slow down a little bit. Oh, so here's one from Bozone. Does Astro Analytics use OpenSea rank as their rarity, or do you set a rarity to a different algorithm like Rarity Sniper? Yeah, we had a couple of issues even on our end with this Pie Monsters, just because Rarity Sniper, deems their algorithm different than OpenSea and kind of gives them a couple of jabs on just how they are performing theirs. And so Rarity Snipers are official. But yeah, it causes obviously some issues, right, with rarity rankings when you have different platforms doing different methodologies.
For sure. I mean, with rarity ranking, it's essentially just statistics. It's math, and everyone has their own equation when it comes to rarity ranking. For us right now, we have our own proprietary ranking, and really the biggest reason for that is I know OpenSea has their ranking at the moment, but even using their ranking on our collection, it's not exactly uh, correct, as I guess this was one way to put it. And also across different collections, I think we've seen issues here and there. But I think for us, the goal is to one day get to a place where there is going to be a standard rarity ranking across
Mhm.
all different platforms and all different tools. I think for now, we're definitely sort of sitting in the middle in terms of whenever there's a new collection, we're usually same as some of the popular platforms out there like Nerds, Alpha Sharks. But yeah, the goal is to hopefully get to a standard rarity ranking one day, because I know that for a lot of people there is always confusion, and not everyone has access to basically all the tools like we do. So
Yeah, when there's no conformity or one kind of governing tool, it becomes very difficult, right? Because it's then subject to interpretation on did you do the cross check on anything official. And I think most people, I mean, myself included, I just jump on OpenSea. I'm looking for, if I'm making the investment opportunity decision here, I'm just buying one that I like, one that feels good in my price point, based on my goals, all of those things. And I don't necessarily tie exactly what's happening with rarity rankings on OpenSea, but I know there are a lot of people that do that. And so when you have this kind of discrepancy amongst platforms, it can be, whether you're on Blur, OpenSea, X2Y2, it can get difficult if they're not even within a range. So that's good to hear. Hopefully there's some methodology to rule them all over
yeah,
time. One other question here from Holy Sit. You consider adding blue chip holders ratios or percentages in the future?
yeah, that's coming actually. Great
Oh,
question.
good. Coming soon.
I,
I know. I
yeah,
thought
with
we
this,
never get.
sorry, I should
Yeah,
elaborate.
for
Yeah,
sure.
within Q4. Yeah, so
That's great.
yeah, a few weeks.
Okay, perfect. All right. I think those are the questions for right now. I think you can continue, Pie Monsters.
Yeah, I think that was actually pretty much it for just kind of a quick overview of the site. Um, maybe for now. I can quickly just show you the two things you can do in our marketplace right now. I think maybe someone else asked a question too. So right now, you are able to nest your NFT, which is a form of soft staking. So essentially, you're earning tokens, but the upside is that your NFT never leaves your wallet. So it's currently still in the wallet and earning tokens for you. And then there's also the ability for you to rent passes. As far as we know, we're the only platform doing this right now. And basically, with your Tiny Astro NFT, you can use it yourself, but you can also rent out the passes that you have from your NFT to other people, which means more than one person will be able to access Astro Analytics at once, even though you own one Tiny Astro NFT. So this is something that has been really helpful in getting the word out there about Astro Analytics.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, and I mean, there's always discussion, right, on hard staking versus soft. I personally, I like that. I hate when my assets leave my wallet. It's just not always the best feeling. I like to be able to tap into them quickly, and so I like this as a meta and a change that your soft is starting to take over. Is there anything else, Pine Monsters, that people would need to know about this platform, how to gain access? I mean, a number of the groups that we're featuring this week, we had Alpha Traders Country Club yesterday. Yourself today is then we wanted to get, and survey the community and just what is helpful, what kind of tools do they want access to, and then we will do what we can as our planet to bring them to them. But for those that independent want access to Tiny Astro, what do they have to do?
Yeah, so right now, if you want access to Astro Analytics, you can either pick up a Tiny Astro NFT. I think right now we're at around point 0.2. There's also the option for you to subscribe to on a monthly basis if you don't want to go ahead and buy the NFT. And I would just say that, for anyone out there who is shopping for tools, a big part of it is the after sales support or customer experience. So if you buy into something, or really before you buy into it, check out their Discord, check out how quickly they're able to respond to your questions. That's really a very important thing. I think that's lacking sometimes in Web3 is getting services and not being able to reach the team for support. So that's one thing that we really pride ourselves in. I think right now, our SLA or our speed in answering questions, it's less than an hour. So if you have a question, either myself or my co-founder Mint is always around on Discord. And that's one thing that our community really likes as well, is being able to adapt really quickly to everyone's feedback, and also being able to troubleshoot in real time.
Perfect. That's great. And I mean, overall, like one of the, foundations for this week is just better understanding what tools and resources that might be accessible, and some free, others paid. Sometimes the paid ones make, if it makes sense for you or can afford it, sometimes are better just because there's been a lot of thoughts, algorithms, research things tied to them versus some of the free options, but it doesn't negate, I think, what is available and accessible to a lot of other folks. Can you, Pie Monsters, just even for 2 seconds, just with your background, and I know what you and Mint Collectibles, when you kind of first set this up, do you mind just talking a bit more about just the importance of actually looking at some of these stats versus kind of, buying on a whim? I think, some of us sometimes want to just trust our gut, something that we followed. We're looking at Twitter subscribers, Twitter followers, we're looking at the hype, behind a project. Just kind of any closing thoughts on just how you're navigating the space, knowing that you're so research heavy and analytical heavy. Just advice for this group, thoughts for this group on just right now it's a shitty market, but also good at buying opportunities. This is when you can get things at good prices, projects that you've been following at good prices. So really, curious on how you think about some of this stuff.
Yeah, I think for myself, I'm not. I would say I'm not very advanced in terms of trading, but just some general advice I think I might be able to share is, even if you're looking at projects that are, let's say, blue chip or semi blue chip, you still want sufficient data to be able to decide whether or not, this is something that you think is going to hold up over time. And the only way to kind of get that info is just through looking at the analytics. And then on the flip side, if you're looking at free mints, and things that are moving very, very fast, you need tools to be able to, one, actually be able to help you buy faster. I think one thing I maybe forgot to mention is we also have our quick buy button. So just kind of looking at this button doesn't seem like very much, but essentially what this does is it helps you skip the approximately 7 to 9 seconds it takes you to click through all the buttons on OpenSea to buy something and then check out successfully. So by having, this buy button here, you're already at a speed advantage over other people. So there's a few things that are coming within our marketplace as well very soon. We're going to have sweeping, and then we'll also have our mint bot as well. So there's a few technical things that you won't be able to get unless you have access to tools. So that's really one important thing to kind of keep in mind. Because if you're always kind of going without, then you're always at somewhat of a speed disadvantage. So that's something to keep in mind if you're ever wondering about, how are people out there kind of buying things so quickly. So yeah, that's one thing I would say. And two, it is our goal to try to make things as affordable and accessible as possible. Right now, I think we are still one of the cheapest when it comes to community plans for different projects and communities that we work with. But also at the same time, we definitely still want to be the best as well.
Got it. One more question. Eternal Phoenix, we had a bit of a hiccup. We were trying to get them the data yesterday to be able to bring up our planet as like the very real example. So I'll work with Pie Monsters and Mint Collectibles. We're going to give them the Our Planet data, and then we'll reissue this. We'll publish it. Yeah, a bit of a show on my side, and that's on me for not getting them the stuff in time. One of our guys was just away. So apologies. We did want to demo actually Our Planet today. It just didn't get done in time. So we will publish those stats so we can actually see how Tiny Astros evaluates this community. The second, this might be harder to answer, but from Synchro Pie Monsters, how do you identify when a project's price will pump based on analytics? So I think it's kind of asking, like, when do you start to recognize green shoots, right? And red flags? Like, are there any kind of signals to be aware of?
Yeah, so one thing I just stopped sharing, but one thing I was kind of taking everyone through was the momentum chart. And really that shows you the one of the I would say the most critical pieces of info on there is if we see that people are relisting down their listings, which means that they're decreasing the price and they're undercutting each other. It's usually if you see that bar grow larger and larger, you see that it could be a sign that people are heading for the exits and they're aggressively undercutting each other to try to get out of that position. There's also a few different factors that you can look at as well. But I would say for me personally, momentum is one of the graphs I use to see, whether or not it's time to get out.
Yeah, and I know one of the things I was always taught, and I try to remind people, is sometimes when you're looking at what's happening with the project, double check across the board. Because sometimes if there's a liquidity move, because well, we just even saw it this past week, right, with Ethereum starting to bump up and it had a 16 handle. All of a sudden, you're wondering what's happening to some of my NFTs, and these are correlated, right? When there's only so many of us, and when we think that we can make money in crypto markets, sometimes people need some liquidity, so they dump or sell or list, a couple of NFTs in order to make that happen. So sometimes it's project specific on what's happening, but it's also good to zoom out really quickly and look at what's happening across the board because it might just be an entire market trend, not something specific to that project having an issue.
For sure.
Cool. Thank you so much, Pine Monster. So we are in talks, guys. We wanted to highlight groups like this to the community first. We always will send out surveys and polls to find what tools do you think, believe, want access to, and so where we can work something out to try and either bring some select, passes to some holders that really want this, or other tools, we will try and do so. So leave us with Tiny Astros, and we'll be asking you some questions on, who wants access and who finds this useful. There are POAPs for every event this week. The POAP secret phrase right now is Tiny Astros. It's all one word, lowercase TINYASTROS. So I just dumped it into event chat. So again, you have to have the downloaded POAP app, a little button on the right for Mint, and Juno, I'm dying at you, man. I just wrote it. That's a little password, Tiny Astros, all lowercase. So when you hit Mint, a little button that should come up saying secret phrase. That's how you can go and collect this. This is open for the next hour. And then it closes for anybody that couldn't make it. I know we have a lot of Aussie friends, Indian friends, and all over the world. These will be recorded. We will display this for everybody. And if you miss this, please DM us, open a support ticket, and we will take care of you. We have some links to be able to still access this once the POAP app closes. They're a little finicky, the POAP people. They have a number of codes and restrictions for how you can operate with their tools. So perfect, everyone. Thank you so much, Pie Monsters, for coming. The other alert for today, we have Zeneca, who's one of the advisors of our planet, coming in to talk at 11 MST, 1 p.m. EST. Again, it will be recorded. Another POAP password will be at that time. So hope folks can make it, but thank you for spending your morning, your evening, your afternoon, whatever it is, with us and Tiny Astros today, and just joining us on this week in general. So Pie Monsters, thank you again.
Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, everyone, have a good day.